In this video, we will look at how to add a new process in Clarity LIMS. Processes can be used as steps in different protocols in Clarity LIMS. When you realize that the step you would like to add to a new protocol cannot be made from an existing process, you will need to go to the Operations interface of Clarity LIMS to create a new process. In the Operations interface, go to the Configurations and select Processes and Process Types to open the Process Configuration window. This window lists all of the currently configured processes in your Clarity LIMS system, and they are ordered alphabetically by the name of the process. Click Add to add a new process, or choose any of the existing ones and click Copy to make a copy of the process and rename it. If we click Add here, this new process window will open, and first we'll need to give it a process name. Let's call this process Extract DNA and Measure Concentration. You will notice that by default, the input type for this process is an analyte. Under the Output Types tab, you can specify whether an analyte is expected as the output or a result file. Shared result file can be applied for a quantitation result file, a gel image, or any other file you would like to attach to the batch of samples going through this process. Next, going to Output Details, you can specify the user-defined fields, or UDFs, you want to put onto the output analyte or the result file. The next tab gives you access to naming the output analytes and result files. For example, if you want to name the output analyte after the input, but append a name to it, you can just type here with an underscore extracted, or right-click and select from a list of the tokens that you can use. Similarly for the output result file. For the shared result file, you can name it with all of the samples that go into this process, and append a name. Under Attribute, you can specify the default placement pattern for this process, horizontal or vertical. And when you want to apply any API script to the specific process and ask the user to kick off specific automation, you can include those under External Programs. Click and Save will save this process on the database of Clarity LIMS, and this process will be ready for use as any new step in a new protocol that you will configure. After you have clicked Save, you will see this message telling you to add user-defined fields for the new process created. If you click Yes, it will take you to the field configuration for this particular process, which can also be accessed through the Details field button on the left-hand side. To add a new field, simply click Add and name the field. The field can be one of these types: single line or multi-line text, numeric, date, checkbox, or even hyperlink text. If we keep this as a single line text, we can also specify these properties of the field. For example, making it required will require the user to enter value into that field when they're running this process. If you do not want to allow custom entries, you can use preset values and define a list of drop-down values so that users will just need to pick from the drop-down menu. Once you click Save, LIMS will check if your current setting meets the field requirement. If you do not allow custom entry, you need to have at least one preset value determined for the field. Now we can go ahead and add other fields to this process, and those can all be turned on when you use this process as a step in the protocol that you're going to create. On the next video, we will look at how to configure a step using the process that we just created.